dudes, dudettes. Today we are filming outside because it's a beautiful day, and there's no better reason than that. Honestly, that I'm bored of inside the house, so I thought I'd bring the show outside. I don't know. Anyways, so today we're talking about writing, and here I've only got 3 tips for you here, and my tips for writing are just kind of the way I do it. So it's not a definitive like, hey, this is how you write guitar parts. It's just kind of the way that I go about coming up with guitar parts from fresh, like not trying to write something to something else other people have going on. I have a blank slate and I need to write a song, and I always come up with my guitar part first. So this is basically how I do it. Real quick, we'll go over the 3 steps. First thing I do is I start with restrictions, and then the second thing I do is I always have a hint of blues in there, so I add some blues. So no matter what my restrictions are, I add some blues. And then my last step is I find ways to break and bend the restrictions I started with. If y'all hear cowbells, it's my cows. They're right over there. So yeah, let's get started. Point number 1, starting with restrictions. The reason I start with restrictions is because I feel that creativity can't exist in a void. You've got to start with a box. Like, you can't just, well, I guess you can. I can't just like come up with something off the top of my head without thinking in terms of a good starting point, and a starting point is restrictions. And so the kind of restrictions I'm talking about is like, sometimes I've done like number of chords, so how many chords I want to play throughout the piece, what mode I want to play in. So sometimes I'll straight up tell myself I'm going to write this in a Dorian mode, and then that's where I'll go with. The meter, are we talking 3/4, 4/4, 6/8, 12/8, stuff like that. I'll kind of mess around and mess with the meter. Usually that's not one I go with. Sometimes it is. Tempo, I'll set myself a restriction on where I want to go with the tempo. Maybe stick to like 120 or 90 beats per minute or something like that. And then the last one, probably the most important, is what kind of structure I'm going to be writing in. So like, and by structure I mean like chord structure. 12-bar blues, 8-bar blues. Am I writing in that like kind of country shuffle 8-bar thing? Is it 1-4, 1-5, 1-4, 1-5-1, something like that? Or what is that one? The 1-5-6-4. That's another one, which is another common structure. All right. So then I'll kind of start with that idea, and then what I'll do is I'll add a little bit of blues coloring to it. So no matter what I'm trying to write, I always add blues because it's the best music in the world, and there's not enough of it. So I always put as much blues as I can fit into it, even if it's like a minor country song or something. I'll squeeze some kind of blues riff or something like that in there as much as I can. Especially for guitar-based music, it just makes the piece come alive. And then the last thing is breaking restrictions. So if I had like, I normally do this when it comes to structure. So if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start with a 12-bar blues structure, and so I might start with something like, let's see. guitar. Anyways, so I might start with just a standard 12 bar, but then I just start playing with the standard part of it. Start squeezing in extra chords or passing notes, or so like instead of it being 12 bars, but I started with a 12 bar blues, I'll pull 4 bars out. So maybe like the middle 4 bars. So you something like that. It's real simple, and it's kind of a neat way to make it your own. The other thing I'll do is maybe something a little modal with it. So I'll take the 5 out and I'll replace it with a major 7 chord. And then, yeah, you on the little turnaround, you can go back to the B again. But that's another cool way to do it. Or maybe I'll make it, say, Dorian. I'll add some Dorian influence, if you will. And so that's a cool way. So we started with like 12 bar blues, and then we took 4 bars out of it, I guess making it 8 bar blues, but not really, because it's not the standard 8 bar blues pattern. And then swapped out the 5 chord and replaced it with a different chord from a different mode. So that's, some people like, you can play pretty much any major chord in blues and be fine. So like if you just, I heard somebody explain it, the Signal Sound Studio on YouTube. He called it like I forget what it is. But if you just take a major chord from each note in your pentatonic scale, so that's, you've got an E major, obviously, G major, A major, B major, and then D major, and then back to the E major again. You can basically use any of those chords that you want to. I like to swap them out for the 5 chord, but you could swap them out for the 4 chord, whatever you got to do. And that's a neat way to kind of come up with a chord structure that sounds like what you're going for, but is different and has a different kind of harmonic value to it. And then once you have that, then yeah, then you add the blues. And just like little blues licks is what I go with, is like kind of when I'm building my riffs, I guess. And none of this is new. People have been doing this for a while, but it's kind of the way I go about writing my my chord structures, and kind of coming up with new variations of kind of the same old thing. People have been doing this for a while, so none of it's really new like that. Same old story, same old rockin' days to my friends. not my stuff. I didn't write that. Somebody else wrote that. But the thing is, music's been around for forever. So if, like, you can't come up with original stuff. And if you do, then you're in, like, kind of postmodern territory. And if that's your thing, this is the wrong channel for you, because I don't know anything about that. I don't even know how to get started on, like, postmodern music. But yeah, I know it's a short video today, but I thought that would be kind of cool. This Saturday, me and the band are going to do our quarantine shakedown on Saturday. So just look for like Dom Cours and Company on YouTube, and it'll be YouTube Live. Also this Friday, which is tomorrow, I am picking the winner of the Red Strat guitar giveaway. And then when I pick that winner on Saturday, I'm going to announce the winner. So if you're entered into that competition, go check it out on the YouTube Live. Yes, I did that on purpose so that people would go watch our YouTube Live. Pretty much. Alright, well that's about it, guys. Thanks, dudes, dudettes. I'll see you guys next week with slide guitar. We're going to talk about slide guitar.